toast, but I love you the most.
What do I call you? Do I call you Tess or do I call you Boots? I'm not even sure now. We've known each other for such a long time. Because I kind of know you from both. So how do we go about this as we begin this interview?
You know, I feel like either one. You can throw me one and then switch back to the other a minute later. Like, I'm going to be just really flexible with that.
Well, I love that. Well, look, I got to say right off the top, congratulations on all the success that both of you have had. I have to say also, congratulations on that Juno Award win. I was there, of course, when it happened. I'm just so glad with all this success, as I said earlier.
Aww,
you both have had.
You.
How has the journey been for the both of you leading up to, again, finally being nominated so many times and finally winning that Juno Award?
Yeah, you know what? Like, it stops being about winning for us, and we just continuously like to make new music every year. So, and it's just always an honor to be there. And then, of course, it was very, very exciting to win, and to be just among so many other amazing kids artists in Canada.
You know, and being a kids artist, I mean, what is that like for the both of you, being able to see so many smiles, so many families, and slowly watching those kids growing up, and, you know, at some point they're going to be adults and they'll still be coming out to your shows bringing their kids.
Yeah. You know what? We really love it. Like, we're in the middle of a holiday tour right now, and every time we get out there on the stage and see their little faces, and it's just, I can't imagine a better job, to be honest.
Well, we're glad that you both have this job, and we're also glad, too, because as we're talking about the holiday season, there is a stocking stuffer that would be great for all those kids out there. You both have a new album out.
We do, yeah, and it's a bit of a different album. It's called The Big Heart Journey, and it's a meditation album for kids, actually.
Oh, my goodness, I got to jump right in. Why did you,
yeah.
You know what? I've never heard about this before. This is something completely new on my records. How did you decide to come with this approach?
So we get a lot of emails from parents being like, you know, my kid is having a hard time at school. They're nervous about this. Is there anything you can do? And we make all sorts of videos for kids all the time. And I started to think, what can we do that will sort of have a bit more of a lasting impact? Like, what's something that we can do to let kids know that they're not alone, that it's okay to feel their feelings, and give them sort of like practical tools to move through them. So I started writing meditations in the spring for kids, just as like a side project. I was like, I'm just going to start this, and then it sort of grew and grew and grew, and then now we have 32 of them. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute album, and we dive into all sorts of things that, you know, life things, and what our goal is to sort of let kids know that they're not alone, and to give them practical ways of dealing with their feelings.
So what do the songs act? Are there lyrics to this? Is it just music? How does this actually go about? And how do you think the kids and family members should approach this?
Well, we've been getting lots of great feedback from it so far. So most of it is talking with music in the background. They're very dynamic, so it's like I'd say only about 5 or 6 of them are actually ones that you would lie down and do. A lot of them are like up on your feet guided activities. And then there's a whole handful of ones to do right before you go to bed. So there's not so much singing on it as much as talking. There are some like repeating things, like poems to repeat before bed. It's very different than anything we've ever done.
Although I like dogs and cats and afternoons and tea, the combo that I love most is you and me.
This sounds like something
right out there.
It's something that's very relaxing, something that's very, very different. I'm just curious because I said this earlier in the interview. I've never heard about this. Is this a first?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we just wanted to try something new. But honestly, though, some of them are like dancing, like you're up on your feet dancing around your house. So it's all of the things. There's a lot of stuff on this album.
But again, it just sounds like if a child is going through maybe a rough time or, you know, needs to relax or anything else, or just, you know, whatever negativity that might be around them. This sounds like this is really going to put them in a great kind of mood, great kind of zone. And you were saying you've had feedback. What's the feedback been like?
Yeah, we have lots of videos that have been sent to us of kids doing them before bed. We've had some ones, like we released one actually right before the first day of school called Scare Sighted, about when you're a little bit scared and a little bit excited all at once. So we got lots of feedback from parents and kids that really helped them get ready for their first day, because I feel like that's just that's a feeling we have throughout our whole lives, you know, and to have some ways to move through that and to know that you're not the only person feeling that way. So we've been getting lots of little videos, which are very cute, of kids doing them.
No, you did kind of mention earlier, but I want to go over again. What are some of those other musical episodes that we can look forward to?
On this album?
Yes.
So we have ones, well, we have like all sorts of ones for sort of like morning ones. We have one for dealing with anxiety. We have lots of going to bed ones. There's one for kids whose parents are getting divorced. We went into like all sorts of other topics. Like we have one about when you lose somebody that you love. We also have one for parents to do in the morning. But then we also have ones that you do with your whole family. So it's like your whole family gets together in whatever room of the house, and the goal is to connect to each other and thank them for something that they did for you today. And our goal is always to help children connect to themselves and the people around them.
You know,
so I feel like this album really does that.
I'm going to reach out a little bit, because even though this is specifically for kids, I've got a feeling some adults can use this too. Yeah,
well, I feel like, so for me, like I really sort of jumped into the meditation stuff and like done a lot of work, and I always, in these, it's a lot of stuff that I have been working through as well. So I do feel like it sort of will speak to parents and children. And that was always the goal of it, to sort of create that sort of like, how can we change our thoughts as well as parents of these kids? So yeah, for sure.
Incredible. Brooke, before we go, two things. One, what's going on with 2020? What's going to be happening with you guys?
So we're really excited. We're doing some filming in January. We're also releasing another album, which has a lot of special guests. We're working with a lot of Canadians who don't necessarily do kids music, but we're releasing a new album, and each song has a different special guest on it. So that'll be coming out in early 2020. And we're also traveling. We're doing some shows in the States in the spring, which we're excited about as well. So we're moving a little bit out of Canada, and we're really excited for this year.
And the last question, of course, is where can we pick up this album? Where do we go social media-wise? Because also the great merchandise that you guys have for the kids and adults, too. Where can we get all of this?
Yes, it's all available at splashandboots.com.
Thank you so much for this interview. Happy holidays.
Thank you,
Merry
Rudy.
Christmas. Have a great new year. And I'll definitely be talking to both of you in 2020. Thanks again.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thanks so much, Rudy. Really appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I like eggs and toast, but I love you the most.